Sego lacrosse fans, a matchup for the creator as day 3 continues here from the President's Cup in Oakville, Ontario, as this game featuring the Tomahawks of Tuscarora against the Mohawks of Kahnawake. Thanks for joining us on the JVI Sports Network, free of charge on YouTube, as the Mohawks in black, the Tomahawks in white. 1-1 for Kahnawake, 0-3 for Tuscarora. Blow the whistle, let's play some Dewa Alado. As it's Jake Elliott and Pat Gregoire with you. And Greggy, although these Tomahawks 0-3 to start the President's Cup, not far off in all 3 of their games, and I think they're going to give the Mohawks a go here today.
They're going to give them everything they got because that's what they've done all tournament long, despite their record. They're pesky. They really never give up. The big issue with them has been
low
sustaining.
lapses. Yeah.
Exactly. These lulls and these lapses where we see turnovers like this. If they can clean up a game, play a full 60, and I'm reluctant to say that because they still give that effort for a full 60. It's just the crispness is missing for that whole 3-period effort.
Well, I think we mentioned it yesterday. If you don't give the effort for head coach Darius Kilgore on that Tomahawks bench, you won't be out on the turf for very long. As Kahnawake won their opener 8-6, but then kind of got it handed to them by the Ladner Pioneers in their second outing as they play just their 3rd game here today. And we are scoreless a minute in. And once again, thanks for joining us. I also want to give a shout out to my man Shannon Booth back in the Onondaga Nation for sending me the Haudenosaunee song. They re-recorded that. Tracy Shenandoah re-recorded that on Onondaga land, and we're using that here pregame. So I wanted to thank Shannon for sending that along as we used that at the Founders Cup, and now we got it here at the Prezi as well. As I love the Orange Lines edition of that song, Pat, but clean it up a little bit and got the proper sound and everything going there. So I think as we move along, that'll be the main one. As the Tomahawks go to work on offense, and a soak there from Charbonneau. As you can hear that one pelt off the thigh of 18 in black as he's feeling that one back to the Mohawk bench. As Kahnawake will bring in here with Justin Scott, who is second in Mohawk scoring, just behind Rob Hellier, who has the ball in his pocket now as the offense triggered. 14 on the shot clock. And across the top hard. And a chance right there for Phil Bouquet, who will draw a penalty call here on Tuscarora.
Kahnawake power play, very effective. We saw them really come to life in that first game. I mean, when you just look at the talent on the floor, a lot of NLLers on the turf right now.
I'm wondering how many pairs of shoes Caleb Wiles has brought to the President's Cup here as he goes with the blue ones today. As
different color tights, too.
Yeah, he's working it down there fashion-wise. He's got Wiles, you got Scott, you got O'Connor, Hellier, and Jake Fox out on the power play here. Here is Scott, down to Wiles, step around, fire wide on the short side. As Aaron Bold gets the start here once again for the Mohawks. He was pulled in his last game for Doug Buchan in that route by the Pioneers. As here today in goal for the Tomahawks, it's Dylan Sprents. And both he and Martin have seen a little bit of time here through their first 3 games, but it's Sprents who gets the start today. As they'll keep the ball out high here with Corey Becker, and he'll send one towards the goal, and an easy stop there for Aaron Bold. Still over a minute to work with here in the power play in this scoreless second game of day 3. And still more lacrosse to come here from the President's Cup. 2 more games, in fact, at 5 o'clock and 8 o'clock, and some good ones on deck that we will touch on as we move along here through the 2 o'clock window. Oakville was impressive this morning, and there's an impressive shot from Caleb Wiles on the power play to open the scoring. Oakville off to that tough start, 5-4 loss against Six Nations. They've rebounded quite nicely here and also just kind of ran Edmonton out of the rink here today to kick off day 3.
Yeah, they looked really sharp, very similar to the crisp passing on this power play. I talked about how yesterday the Mohawks special teams would be a double-edged sword for them. They got to score on the power play, but they got to stay out of the box while they get their first marker on the man advantage. We'll see if they're still able to play that tough-nosed lacrosse without having to parade to the penalty box.
Things got very chippy at the end of that Ladner game with the scoreline not in doubt. But that's kind of part of the President's Cup. We kind of saw that against Edmonton and Oakville at the end of that one, as well as our boy Billy Hostrauser kind of took Matty Kim to the woodshed. I don't know if you saw that one at the end of the game, Pat, but Matty Kim's face not looking so good after today's game.
Yeah, I was on my way to Oakville when that happened. Was able to watch the first couple periods, watch the playback. We'll get to that in a second.
Chance here maybe on a potential 2-on-1, but no. They'll slow things up and pull out here, will Bryce Tomei.
Just one note wanted to mention as well. I do believe that is Chase Martin in between the pipes.
Okay.
He's wearing Dylan Sprintz's
I
number
thought,
one jersey.
you know what?
Though.
I was like, I was kind of second-guessing myself, but fair enough. We'll get that from time to time here at the President's Cup, guys wearing different numbers, and I'm glad you pointed that out. And I should have known that with the helmet and the body type and all the rest of it. That is, in fact, Chase Martin in there, who had a little sniff at training camp of, and I want to say Halifax, been lingering around a little bit. So solid between the pipes, Chase Martin. You know you're going to get a decent game out of him.
Yeah, Chase Martin spending some time on the practice roster as well with the T-Birds.
As the Tomahawks look for their first here, as Print Up shooting, but wide. As it'll bounce off the end wall and into the pocket of Nick Miller. As I think we're both getting our first look here at Tuscarora this week, Pat. As we'll get him one more time this week as well, but we've kind of seen everybody else, and now we'll see how the Tomahawks stack up to the rest of the competition here today.
We know two things. One, they're going to work really hard, and they're going to be really well coached with the combination, the two bench bosses they've got over there in Chrysler.
In the slot, and a good look there, but a better stop for Martin.
Of course, Kilgore as well. You mentioned it.
The amount of knowledge in that guy's brain as far as lacrosse goes is ridiculous, and maybe, quite frankly, unmatched. Just incredible what he has been able to do, not only in his playing career, but his coaching career, and now working with the youth there in Tuscarora. I mean, Darius Kilgore, an absolute legend back on Tuscarora Nation.
Absolutely,
and
legend
just really
when it comes to the game of lacrosse, really.
Yeah.
On and
the
off
whole
the floor.
Kilgore family, really. Richie, Travis, all of them. Here's Jake Fox. As you know, he wants to increase his production here a little bit, Pat. Just 3 points through 2 games for Jake Fox, and capable of much more than that.
Yeah, there's no denying he's going to be a big reason. If he can kind of come to life, it's going to be, really important if the Mohawks are going to want to finish in that top 4 seeding to get into that semifinals.
Buckshot up to Print Up, and a glove stop there for Aaron Bold. A loose ball gathered in here by the Mohawks, and they'll push ahead here with the Woody. It's McComber on the go, scores! How about it from McComber, coast-to-coast job with the Woody, and puts it past Martin to make it 2-0.
You love to see that, not only because the Woody goal is just so glorious, but McCumber had a little bit of a rough go yesterday. Took a lot of penalties. I think we actually saw him get kicked out of the game for too many minors.
Yes, we did.
Instead, he uses that big stick of his for good, getting in on the offense. And I love when those grinders get rewarded with a goal.
Gunday in his jersey as well, so they look to him for a little leadership too, and leading the right way here to start off day 3 for Kahnawake.
I really feel like just the way that second period started, it just all snowballed from there. They were great in that
6-6 at one point, and then there was like an 8-goal run for Ladner going away. This is Kirby as he backs away from a little pressure. Scott looks inside as O'Connor was cutting through. But it'll be the Tomahawks that'll pick it up here with Anthony Patterson. So they do have some notable names. Anthony Patterson one, Ron John another for the New York Riptide. And got past Allegheny in the Can-Am final to punch their ticket to the President's Cup. Is a good look on goal there in Aaron Bold.
bit of an upset based upon standings, what happened in the regular season. But if you
Got
ask,
hot at the right time.
if you ask those guys over there, they had so much faith in this group all season long. They knew that they deserved to be here, and they earned it.
Rob Hellier. Look out. Turf Monster got him momentarily. As he's goal line extended around a screen comes Scott in a high drive off the shoulder of Martin. As Horn will restart the offense here. As O'Connor. Mohawks want to run something. You can hear it from the bench. Lots of time on the shot clock. Duck underneath. Hellier. Oh, they wipe it off in the crease. Lightning quick step there for Hellier. But took one too many. And it remains 2-0.
Not much of a play there, but just Rob Hellier doing Rob Hellier things. Putting his defender on skates, taking to the lane, but unfortunately for him, he steps in the crease before he could bury.
Here's Tuscarora. Ooh, look out as McComber might get another chance here in transition as he breaks away. 2 Tomahawks trying to run him down. McComber scores again. Do not get too close to that stick. You'll burn your hand right now as McComber with 2 out of the 3 here in transition for the Mohawks.
What a great defensive play. Knocks his man down, picks up the loose ball, and instead of just throwing that on net like sometimes we see the guys using the wooden stick, he throws a couple of fakes, goes far side this time. That's a beautiful goal by McComber. Have a day.
Speaking of the Mohawks, picked up myself a traditional Mohawk stick.
Gorgeous.
From the Snake Island Boys. People keep asking me to post a picture of that thing up online. I don't want to make everybody jealous, so I'm just kind of keeping that one to myself. It is incredible.
Here's the thing. We're already jealous,
I might put
so
it
get it out there.
All right. When I get back to the hotel, I'll send it out.
It's a beauty. It is an absolute beauty.
Fox back on, Hellier back on, along with Wiles, and here comes Kirby late with 15 on the shot clock. There's that face dodge from Hellier again. Shovels in front. Wiles on a sub shot as Martin looks to settle in here for the Tomahawks as they'll push ahead here quickly. Heron Snow finds a man off the bench and a long drive in from Marvin Curry, who sits second in Tomahawks scoring in behind Patterson.
He had a really good game. I actually think he got robbed one of the goals. They ended up giving it to someone else. He was phenomenal yesterday. He's got such a lethal outside shot.
Speaking of lethal outside shots, Rob Hellier with it, former 50-goal man in the NLL, to Justin Scott. He's obviously familiar with this building as he sets up Bouquet in front of the net. And a great start here for Kahnawake as they lead 4-0.
I think they clearly knew what went wrong yesterday when they had those lulls in the second and the third, not sharing the ball, settling for outside shots. This time we're seeing them get to the middle, and his Bouquet played more of a transition role through the first couple of games with the Mohawks, going out the O-door and getting rewarded there on the doorstep. Beautiful feed from Scott. He's been shooting the lights out. Now he's showing off his playmaking ability as well.
Face-off comes free.
That's the thing with this tournament. You know, you can't dwell on those losses.
You can't lay back on the wins either.
No, exactly. You're totally right.
And that's what makes this tournament so great. Long shot and bold. Looking sharp to start here. Makes another save. And up it comes to Charbonneau, 2-on-2. Mohawks joining late. Chance comes, and that shot wide quite significantly from Hutchison, who will get another floater chance. And Fox will control with 12 on the shot clock. Charbonneau will try his luck, and Martin will gobble that one up. As the shot's now 10-7 with the Mohawks leading 4-0.
One thing we're seeing a lot more of is the defenders of the Mohawks get more involved, and that's what we really saw them do in their victory.
Patterson had it stripped, and here comes Kahnawake's Tolme. And look out here. Tomahawk, and this has kind of been the problem here for Tuscarora as well, is that they get down in these games early and then have to claw their way back, and it's so difficult to dig yourself a hole like that and then trying to dig out of it, is they just not have held a lead very often in this tournament. It's, as we know, Pat, it's so hard to play this game from behind all the time.
Yeah, it's the stretches that have really hurt them. They're down 5. We know they're going to tighten it up at some point. It's just if they can eliminate those big runs and have that counterpunch quicker.
Maybe a chance here, 2-on-1. There's the shot and a good stick in the lane, but we're going to get a power play here for the Tomahawks for a high stick. And it'll go to McComber.
Ben Kirkwood with the call there, one of our officials for today.
Thank you.
Alongside Hayden Laporte and Jacoby Krassman. Doing your favorite position
Just
outside of maybe calling lacrosse.
Just collecting free paychecks over there. And Jacoby and the boys, the referees, stand at the same hotel that I am. And they're just, they're a team just as much as any of these teams here at the President's Cup. A real fraternity between all the officials.
Oh, there's no doubt about that.
Bounce shot there. And Printup can't get it to go. Charbonneau will stick it in gear as he'll race onto a loose ball. And took a couple of tries to secure, but he will. As Wiles will give it across here to Hellier. As he moves on Vanderzan. And now O'Connor with 9 on the shot clock. Short-handed are the Mohawks. Hellier cutting through. Pass was knocked down, and Tuscarora's got it. As we settle in here for the next 3 games, Pat, 2 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 8 o'clock. Hope you brought some coffee with you.
Oh, yeah.
Going to be a fun day here, day 3 at the President's Cup. And like I mentioned, some good matchups coming up later. Ladner and Six Nations at 5 o'clock. And then a game I'm really looking forward to is an outside drive right into the chest protector of Aaron Bold. 2-1 Snake Island, 2-1 Oakville Rock.
Yeah, that's a big one. I even think the next game is also huge as well, especially for Six Nations. Like, I don't want to say it's all but done if they drop that one, but it's going to be mightily hard to get into that top 4 and drop another one.
And I think if you can get to 3 wins, you're going to put yourself in a real good position here. And if you get to 3 losses, your chances get real slim.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the threshold here as Horn on the limp back to the Mohawk bench.
Get a look here. Yeah, just...
Took a check in the back and then got his foot stuck in the turf there. And we hope he'll be okay. Because it's a long week here, and you're going to battle some things each and every day. As just minimal seconds left on the power play here for Tuscarora. A low to high release there from Buckshot. Ends up all the way down the floor, and the shot clock winding down to 5. They'll just throw it down the floor and make a change here. As for Kahnawake, they still have, who do they got left on their schedule? They got Six Nations, Edmonton, Oakville left as they're just playing their 3rd game here. As Tuscarora is still with Ladner and Six Nations left on their schedule playing their 4th game. In front, O'Connor sifted it just wide. And it remains 5-0 as we have just over 6.5 to go. Here in period number 1 on day 3. This is the 2nd game of the day. Oakville impressive over the Miners this morning. Printup can't get his shot off. Shot clock down to 8. Here's the swing. Flip it down low, nobody home. And another good defensive set here from the Mohawks. And now we got a Tuscarora penalty coming. And you wonder if the frustration starts to build for the Tomahawks. 6 out here for Kahnawake. Caleb Wiles at the point. Feet in front to Fox. And there's goal number 2 for Jake Fox. Goal number 6 for the Mohawks.
Maybe that's the jump that he's looking to get more involved in. When we're saying that, we're talking about offensively. He's still doing a lot of the little things like getting loose balls, crashing, banging, but they need to rely on him putting the ball in the net. It's just a nice pick to the middle. And then, you know, he can get a little bit of a rebound. But he needs to rely on him putting the ball in the net. It's just a nice pick to the middle. And then, you know, he can get a little bit of a rebound. But he needs to rely on him putting the ball in the net. It's just a nice pick to the middle. And then, you know, he can get a little bit of a rebound. But he needs to rely on him putting the ball in the net. It's just a nice pick to the middle. And then, you know, he can get a little bit of a rebound. But he needs to rely on him putting the ball in the net. It's just a nice pick to the middle. And then, you know, he can get a little bit of a rebound. But he needs to rely on him putting the ball in the net. It's just a nice pick to the middle. And then, you know, he can get a little bit of a rebound. But he needs to rely on him putting the ball in the net. It's just a nice pick to the middle. And then, you know, he can get a little bit of a rebound. But he ne gets off that ball, puts it right in the back of the net.
Well, he probably could get a step quicker, Pat, if he just went to the barbershop. He is packing some hair around under that bucket.
Lettuce does look great. I'll give it to him.
Maybe I'm just jealous. That's probably what it is.
I know the Capital Region Axemen aren't in this tournament,
Yeah,
but there's still a few players from the 613 in this tournament.
Usually the Axemen are a fixture at the Prezi, not this year.
You got Sam Firth.
Wiles on the flip, a good one. And the corkscrew shot from Kerry Kane, who hasn't played a ton. And you can tell he's got a little spring in his step with fresh legs here on day 3. As they continue to work on Horn at the Mohawks training table. So currently Kahnawake down a man. But up 6 here on the Tomahawks. Get that gate closed. They do in time. As McComber with a well-timed chop, and he's got another loose ball and maybe transition to come. A little sidestep sachet, and a good one there from Montour, who I had to double check. They got him listed down as 42. Well, they had him listed as 41. Then they put 42 on the original score sheet, but he's actually wearing 41. Shenanigans here at the Prezi.
Just one thing to note, this Tuscarora team without arguably their most deadly offensive threat in Hunter Lemieux. I've been thoroughly impressed with his game.
Recently traded too, right?
Yeah, he's going to be in Rochester. He's going to, complement a pretty impressive left side, to be quite honest. But Holden Katoni heads over to Philly. Obviously, we know the familiarity with the Philly and the Peterborough connection they have there. But I think this is a good opportunity for Lemieux to be more of a pick setter, an inside guy. And he's shown this tournament that he's been able to do that, but he's also showing that he's got some scoring prowess as well.
Vanderzam, Patterson, print up on this near side. You got Corey Becker. And just trying to pick up that far creaseman down there, Pat. My eyeballs deceiving me. Is it 86?
Is that Ron?
Might be 88. Ron John.
I think that's Ron John.
Getting a little offensive time here for the NOL transition man. Well-rounded player is Ron John. Feet into the slot. Good swim move. Looking behind him was Aaron Bold, but he's just on the right side of the goal line here for the Mohawks.
Yeah, Ron John is a special player. I think he's only getting better and better. First time I got an opportunity to see him was the 2018 Founders Cup playing for Seneca, his coach. Sitting on that bench right there.
There's Kilgore.
Kilgore coached that War Chiefs team, and you could just tell.
He's not that tall, Pat. He's actually standing right.
Leaning.
Yeah, there you go. Tomahawks bring it in here with Heron Snow. And that shovel feed did not connect. And here comes Hutchison. Excuse me, it's Tolme 9, not 3. So I got to get warmed up here, Pat, on day 3.
It's a long day, don't worry.
Big day of lacrosse, not only here at the President's Cup, but we'll shift our attention to the West Coast after we wrap up day 3 here at the Prezi for what is a monster game at Queen's Park Arena tonight. Game 7, WLA final. Whoever wins will host the Mann Cup. Doesn't get much bigger than that.
What an awesome day of lacrosse we got here.
Scott trying to get a step. Now Hellier. He'll get a pick from Bouquet. He'll swing it back to Jake Fox. Inside it comes Phil Bouquet, and Martin will land on top of Bouquet, who looked like he had his mind made up what he was going to do before he even caught that ball. He had all sorts of room on one side of the goal, but it was decided what kind of shot he was going to try and attempt there.
Could have went to get a great look here, Jake.
Yeah, watch this. 21, middle of your screen here. Just slides off the pick, and look at the amount of space he has on the right side of the goal, but decides to go to the left.
Yeah, he had all sorts of space on that right side. It was a great move, though. Faked the repick.
Yeah.
Cuts to the middle.
Little slip.
Love the heads-up play, but You got the ball in your stick. Don't be afraid to
take
be a
what
little
the goalie
creative.
gives you. This is Hutchinson. Hellier right back on here. Take the shot. And Scott had to reach out for it. He'll take it off the corner boards with 12 on the shot clock. Looks towards the net, and Martin down on a knee makes a stop as bodies go flying into the crease. So Tuscarora looking to get on the board here. Chance here. Bold another save. There's a nice little pluck of the loose ball there from Buckshot to come out of there with it. And he's got it back now. Work a little two-man game. Buckshot with a rip to the side, the short side. Bold almost leaning the wrong way there, but reacted in time. Ron John. Here for Miller. As John was open down on the crease, he'll pick it up now. Trying to come back near side to Buckshot. As we saw Rob Hellier playing in a transition role last game against Ladner and was very effective in it. And we'll keep an eye and see if Six plays a little more defense here today as well. Predominantly out the front gate so far. Now a penalty call coming here to Tuscarora. And this is what they have to avoid. Cannot spend time in the penalty box against this Mohawk team. They can throw out 5 weapons offensively. And for a team that's, struggling to score goals here a little bit, what are they? I know they're on 3, but 24 goals to the good, 37 against. And a lot of that, I think, is just too much time spent in the penalty box.
Yeah, they got 39 penalty minutes coming into this game here. And when you go up against, like you said, a team with so many weapons on the floor, you just can't give them those opportunities.
See if they can get a big kill here. Hellier will have a clean look and skip it wide. It'll bounce out near center. A good battle for it there will be won by Kahnawake. 10 on the shot clock for O'Connor. Scott. Hellier, one touch. Oh, beautiful play there for O'Connor. Rebound follow-up as Wiles went for the extra pass, but Chase Martin with the answer on all of it. As then Vandersdam and Fox were nose to nose. They'll both make a change. There's Monroe, and now we got back over here on the Tomahawks as they kind of lost their surroundings. It's the high restraining line right near center. As Martin with another point-blank stop, this time off of Kirby. Oh, Kirby comes in with a two-hander and got away with that. Here come the Tomahawks. This is Curry. On the trail. Here's the shot, and right into the middle of the net where Aaron Bold was standing to end the period from Evan Printup. As we're through 20 minutes here in this second game of day 3. Kahnawake will start the second period on the power play, and they'll have a lead when they do it. 6-0 here over the Tomahawks of Tuscarora. 10-minute break on YouTube here on the JVI Sports Network, the home of the President's Cup. And we're back to Oakville in 10. Stay with us. Welcome back to the President's Cup in Oakville, Ontario, here at the Toronto Rock Athletic Center, otherwise known as the Track with a C. It's Jake Elliott, it's Pat Gregoire with you after one period of play here in the second game of day 3. And the Mohawks had a pretty good opening 20 there, Patty. They lead the Tomahawks 6-0.
It is clean on all sides of the ball. We saw them score 3 transition goals, a power play goal, an extra attacker goal, 5-on-5. They've really cleaned things up from what we saw in the final 2 periods. But I'm sure the message in the room was, listen, guys, we played great in that first period yesterday. Look what happened. We fell apart. We need a full 60 here. And they know this Tuscarora team's not going away anytime soon.
Below the whistle, let's play some lacrosse. We're underway as every team in search of that elusive full 60 minutes. See if Kahnawake can put it together. We'll see if Tuscarora can put together a good 40. They'll have to kill off a 35-second. No, they're going to have to kill off another, as they just took another penalty here. As Scott walks in, Martin makes the stop. And that'll be a 2-man advantage for 28 seconds. And I think that was one of those ones, Pat, where it made a really good noise, but it wasn't that severe of a slash.
Well, that's all I did. I just heard it. I didn't see it. It was behind, a little bit behind. We'll get a look right here.
I mean, come on.
Yeah,
that's a one-handed love tap right there.
That's a love tap.
And for the most part, officials have done a good job here. I will say that one was a nickel and dimer.
I think he's got some Tupperware on his stick. I don't think that's made a call,
Yeah.
but because it's a wooden stick, a little heavier, makes a louder noise, and call's been made.
Here's Hellier. Quick pass, Wiles, and that one just snatched right out of the stick of Wiles beautifully. And a good run up floor. Here's the chance. Man. Anthony Patterson with a good run, but couldn't get it past Bold at the end of the day. Short 2 men and created a breakaway opportunity for himself. Sure, Tuscarora, I'd like to see a little more of that. As a big hello to everybody watching the President's Cup here on YouTube on the JVI Sports Network. And I got my man Will Johnny back on Vancouver Island tuned in. Folks on the Onondaga Nation are watching this one, and right across Turtle Island, I'm sure, for this all-Indigenous matchup. Here's a chance for the Tomahawks, shorthanded again. Oh, Aaron Boldy got the butt end of his goal stick on it and kept it out. I don't know if he got it on it or it just hit it. Either way, it didn't go in the goal.
It's been a tidy 22 and a half minutes for Bold, 16 saves. Hasn't had to been called upon too much, but when he has, been really strong.
And I know 6-0 here as Funk's through the middle. Here's Hellier loading down to the crease, and oh man, that was in. Let's get a replay of that. My man Chris says, let's let this play continue here, but clip that because I think that ball was clearly in the goal. As maybe we can run it now here as we'll get a little lull in the play. As the shot came from a tough angle, but it looked like it was right into the top corner and then back out quickly. As we'll get a look at it, just bear with us here. 16 seconds to go on the shot clock here for the Tomahawks.
Kind of been the story for Riley O'Connor. He's 9 points in 3 games, nothing to shake a stick at so far, but
look out, here comes Hellier. He'll stick it in gear. Rob Hellier, and he missed the goal far side high. As usually does a little better with that, as McComber will take a chop. And finds an open man high here as we're back to now we got another penalty call coming, or why is Aaron Bold moving to the goal right now? I do not see an arm up for either official. I think Bold thought there was going to be a penalty call, and there wasn't. And he's having a chuckle with the Tomahawk bench about it. Surely he's getting some chirps there from Tuscarora.
I was going to say that's the least sneaky sneak play I've ever seen.
Here's Bouquet, who opened the scoring this morning. Or this afternoon, I suppose now. And he'll come up with a loose ball, and they'll keep it here with the Mohawks. I don't know if I've ever seen a goalie do that. Just assuming there was a delayed call on that the official never made.
He was forcing the official to make the call.
Didn't work. Wiles over the top, and that went off the inside of the pipe as well. As the Mohawks coming close here, but still up 6-0. And you wonder, if things get up to 8-9 here for a lead for Kahnawake, whether we'll see a little more of Doug Buchan as, just as these players need a break here throughout. Again, hitting the post. Another chance there, and that one stopped by Martin. Players need a bit of a break as the week moves along, and no exception for the goaltenders either. You can't expect to ride your number one for full 60s through 6 games of competition.
No, that's why, with Oakville, we've seen Nick Rose get a little bit of a break. I expect, great pick off there from Martin.
Yeah, both Edmonton goaltenders have seen time. Both Six Nations goalies have seen time. So it's just, you can't just ride one guy through the entire tournament here at the President's Cup. Patterson will stay in play here as the Tomahawks look for their first of the afternoon. As Nick Miller off the wall. He'll send it across. Spinning right to the goal. Scores! Anthony Patterson, the Tomahawks' leading scorer, will add to his totals. And the Tomahawks are down by 5 now.
5th goal of the tournament, now up to 11, and it's dynamic moves like this. He tries to beat his man on the inside, bumps off a weak check, and then beats his man underneath, takes it to the net, and scores. He's a player to watch coming into this tournament, and he is not disappointed.
We're going to get a look at that replay one more time as that goal. Let's see. I think I'm wrong again, Pat.
I don't know.
That is so close. If we had the overhead shot there, I think it might tell the tip.
Yeah. Oh, man, that's close. That's
Stay tuned.
Really
Saturday,
close.
we might just have it here at the track. See how much work Alex Frazo wants to do here. For the gold medal game, which will come up on Saturday here from the Prezi. Right here on the JVI Sports Network. 6 on the shot clock. And that one slips through. Nick Miller gets it to go, and this has kind of been the story here of Tuscarora. Dig yourself a hole, don't give up, keep working, and claw your way back into lacrosse games.
The St. John Fishers product, Nick Miller.
Digging deep for that little nugget
D3
there.
pride, baby.
D3 life.
But a great move, little spin. He's another guy to watch in this tournament. He's a U.S. Boxla product, playing in the Upstate Box Lacrosse League. Has been to an NLL camp, and I know he's knocking on the door, trying to play at that next level. Well, it's big tournaments that we've seen here are going to help him get to that point.
I'll tell you what, Tomahawks can find a way to get the next one. It's game on. But it's the Mohawks that have the ball right now. There's Tchaikovsky. Big right-handed transition man. Albany Firewolves. He's got it. 13 on the shot clock. Backhand feed, not great for Hellier, but he'll run it down. And here's Tchaikovsky one more time. He'll send it towards Martin, who will steer it into the corner with a nice stop. Print up across the line. As a Tuscarora defender, or offensive player, I should say, will just stay down in the defensive zone. Now he'll make the change. Outside shot deflecting. Bold's got it off the back window. As the pace starts to pick up a little bit, but too many men call out the offensive gate a little early. We'll give it right back here to Tuscarora. Logan Monroe will make the change. Good look here. And Bold closes down the 7-hole in time. As Miller was looking for his second. Mohawks, it's O'Connor. And he says, let's settle down a possession here. We need to work a 30. Our defense a little taxed. It sounds like a broken shaft down on the floor, but everybody's still got their stick in their hands. This is Scott. He had a check loose. And the Tomahawks up with it quickly. 2-on-1. It's Patterson on a dip and dunk over top of the goal.
Nice feed by Heron Snow. Really difficult pass to get that off to your leading goal scorer. Fortunately, Patterson not able to cash in.
Another shot there from Patterson, stopped by the stick of Bold as he'll bounce one from McComber. He'll move it along here for Hutchinson. As we're 7.5 into this second period. This is the second game of the day. Still 2 more to come. And we'll have them all for you as a snipe right there from O'Connor. Bar down, in it goes. And the 2-goal run stopped here, courtesy of Riley O'Connor with a beauty.
Finally gets it done is Riley O'Connor, and this one is a laser beam from the outside, just getting to the wrong side. He makes it look like he's going to go far side, and it's that little last-second push. Goes right in the top left corner. Gosh, I could watch Riley O'Connor shoot a ball all day long.
Okay, I'm just going to say it, Pat. I've been waiting for Bar Mexico for like 3 days now.
I'm saving it.
All right.
I'm saving it. I knew you were looking for it. That's why I didn't say it. It'll come.
Still lots of days left. I'll give you a little reprieve. As it'll be Mohawks' possession here after the face-off. And after restoring their 5-goal lead, the lead has been as big as 6. Jake Fox. Out wide. And wrong side of the floor. Tried to get the return pass from Scott. And Martin, with his chrome helmet, will outlet up this near side.
I've got to say, I know a lot of teams have this luxury, but for a team like Kahnawake that haven't played a lot together, it's got to be such a bonus having players like O'Connor and Hellier, who it's almost like having an extra coach on your bench or on the floor. You can really see those guys have been the floor generals on this team.
Here is Hellier. It just often looks like the stick is just a part of his hand. Like he just makes it look so easy carrying the ball around and catching and passing. Like it's just a connection. Reset on the shot clock. Hellier into the middle. He'll let it fly and got some smoke on it, but Martin got a piece. Good feed in front, and Caleb Wiles on the dip and dunk gets it to go.
That is a fine piece of goal scoring right there. Look at the ball movement by the Mohawks, and it all starts with Hellier, a big shot from the outside. Loose ball picked up by O'Connor, sees a streaking Hellier, and on the doorstep it was Wiles, who's probably having his best game of the tournament, gets his second of the game.
Blue shoes aren't coming off after this one for Caleb Wiles.
No way. You need a forklift to get those off.
It's the forklift. The Heister. Battle for the face-off at center. And it pops free and up for grabs. Charbonneau got a man in behind, but the pass was low and blocked. And the Tomahawks want to work an offensive possession. As here comes the double, spin it, and the shovel pass across the zone goes out of play here on the blue rink at the track. Hutchinson, as we work our way to the midway mark of this period in game. As the Mohawks jumped out to a quick start, led 6-0 after the 20-minute mark. 2 goals for Tuscarora to start the period, but 2 in response from Kahnawake. Maybe a chance here for the Tomahawks in transition. Still numbers. As Miller will circle up, find a man off the bench, and get the return feed. Rim to load, and it's in. And we've seen this a little bit from Aaron Bold over his career as well. Those low screen shots down at his feet can sometimes give Aaron Bold a little bit of trouble. And Nick Miller has seemingly found a little spot to shoot on the Mohawk goaltender.
Yeah, he's watched the tape clearly. That's a smart lacrosse player, recognizing it and using the defender as a screen as well. The Buffalo Bandits draft pick continuing to impress in this tournament. Not just his skill set, but also his lacrosse IQ.
Speaking of those champion Buffalo Bandits, looks like Chugger, Steve Dietrich, has finally made an appearance here at the President's Cup, who is the assistant general manager of the Oakville Rock. Another one. James Chadwick finds mesh. And 2 quick ones here from the Tomahawks, and they're right back in this thing again.
Jimmy Chadwick just with a beautiful goal here. He has the flair for scoring these nasty goals, whether it's here at the Prezzies. We've seen him do it in Arena Lacrosse League, in Junior B with the Seneca War Chiefs. The guy just does not score ugly goals.
Speaking of, that might be one of my favorite lacrosse names or team names out there. The Seneca War Chiefs and the unis that go along with it, like just spectacular.
It's great to see that, Onondaga's been representing that league at the Founders Cup the last couple of years.
Yeah.
But I miss the purple and the lime green of the War Chiefs.
Yeah. Shout out to Extreme Threats for those bad boys. As in comes Robbie Hellier once again with 9 to go here in the second as we hit 3 o'clock here in the East. Next game comes up at 5 o'clock. Ladner and Six Nations Pioneers. Pie Ball looking to go 3-0.
Love to know what the player prop total is for Ryan Benesh after that game.
Well, I think Caleb Wiles probably just blew the over off in his player prop here as he's got another for the Mohawks.
No doubt the best game we've seen out of him, and if they can unlock some off runs from Wiles, this team is going to be a tough out. This is another one right on the doorstep. He's so slippery without the ball on his stick, and then when he does get it back, he's got great touch around that net.
I mean, this is a completely different looking Mohawks team than we saw yesterday against Ladder. Not to say if they, play their best that they're going to blow the doors off the Pioneers, but that game surely would have been a lot closer than it was if they played like this.
Coming into this game, Wiles just an assist in each game for a total of 2.
Yeah.
It's completely unlocked something here.
A stop for Bold on the short side. An outlet feed. And the Mohawks go back to work on offense as Montour will head for the Kahnawake bench. Hellier. Rink wide. Here's Scott with a laser. And that one hit the end wall hard. And Tuscarora up with the loose ball. Evan Printup. Look out from behind as they'll get the pass off in time. As the Mohawks set up defensively. Patterson turns the corner. Tried to turn another one. Goes down to the crease. And Marvin Curry denied in close. As it's a 9-4 game now. 6-0 after the first. And goal scoring has picked up here in period 2. Hellier on a hesitation. Martin goes low for a stop. Does he kind of feel like Rob Hellier can just create his own shot at will? I mean, he's good at playing the team offense. As here's another good look. As that time Buckshot went to the cooker with some authority. And we'll get a little collision along the sideboards here, and it'll be Tuscarora possession. But anytime he wants to get a look for himself, he can do it.
It's that first jab step. It's just so deadly.
Lethal.
He's made a lot of really good defenders look silly, hasn't he?
I can't imagine trying to check him personally.
No. I'd be calling for help before I hit the floor.
Mohawks with it. As the shots on goal here, they're pretty tight, 31-27. But it was that quick start here for Kahnawake that gave them this spread. And since then, it's been pretty even. Here's Fox in tight, and Martin throws up a chicken wing. Well, buffalo sauce on that one for Chase as he keeps it out. Tomahawks come in. The pass for Miller off his stick. Tuscarora will settle. Miller. Pass off. Shot just missing short side. Tchaikovsky trying to run onto this one. And he'll pick it up, but no transition here for Kahnawake. Now cutting through is Tchaikovsky. And then took an extra shot in the crease, and that'll draw a call. And those are the ones that Tuscarora just needs to stay away from. There was nothing there, and no reason to do that.
No.
And Hillier looking for another call. Stare down the official as a wide-angle shot from Bouquet is handled.
You kidding me? That's what he's saying. You kidding me?
And he's pressing, yeah, but we already called one, and we don't want to call a second one right there. And, we had that wood stick slash that was kind of soft. You can handle it, Robbie. You'll be okay.
Nice chance there from Tchaikovsky. And then, there's that extra shot on the ground, completely unnecessary. Those are things, and I know Roderick Chrysler, you can just see he likes his teams to play.
Frustrating as a coach, right? Because there's nothing you can do about that.
And he loves when his teams play rough and tough in your face. It's just taking it over that line. Completely unnecessary. That's what's going to frustrate him.
Martin says, get up turf here. I'm going to throw it. Because he had a man bench side. And ball turned over pretty quickly. Numbers down low here for the Mohawks. In comes Scott. He'll take it right to the rack, and Martin will stop it as he looked off a couple of would-be teammates.
And he jogging off to the bench, apologizing to O'Connor.
A nice stick there from Bowl to pounce out of his crease to secure a possession. Hellier, Fox, Wiles, O'Connor, and Scott come out here for this power play that has just over a minute to work with, as they look to hit double digits here on the man up. Set play on potentially. Hellier on the drag. He'll fire, missed. And this one will come back across center as Printup will run it down. And a chance to kill off another 30 seconds here for the Tomahawks. Chadwick, who's got the fourth goal here for Tuscarora. Short-handed here, however. Undeterred, 13 on the clock. Backdoor cut, a good one. And Buckshot, maybe one too many fakes, as he can't get the shorty to go.
And Buckshot still looking for that first goal of the tournament.
He's had a number of good looks here so far in this one.
He's frustrated. You can see over on the bench he's an electrifying player. Coached against him when he played for Aguasasni Junior B. Spent a lot of time trying to game plan for that guy there, let me tell you that much.
Well, you didn't really do it there, but I can't believe we're 3 days in. You haven't given your iHeads a shout-out yet either, Patty. Roll heads. I'll do it for you.
Oh, thank you.
Outside Cooker, and that one right into the midsection of Bold, and we'll get interference here on Kahnawake. With just under 3 to go here in the second period, and the Mohawks leading the Tomahawks by 5. Miller. Here's Napoleon. And that's off the leg pad of Bold and will stay in play. It's a good looking stick on Napoleon there. Good dive job.
Very sharp.
Miller looking for that low lane again, and this time Bold has the answer. Power play over for Kahnawake. We're back to 5-on-5. As the pace starts to slow down here a little bit in the late stages of period 2. Hellier on the pop-out. Feed to the corner. Fox cuts through. Not open. He'll go back. Look at this passing play, and Hellier just couldn't quite finish it off. They're moving the ball well.
Really, really well. This team's getting a lot of chemistry together. Again, keep in mind, last game before this tournament that they played together, July the 8th, and they only played a handful of games throughout the entire season.
We think 3 should get you into the top 4, wins that is. And 3 losses most likely you're going to be on the outside looking in here at the President's Cup this year. Kahnawake sitting at 1-1, trying to get to 2-1 here. As they have Six Nations, Edmonton, Oakville left on their schedule. Penalty call coming here to Tuscarora as Bold on his horse to the Mohawk bench. Here's Fox on a toe drag and a nasty one at that. But can't get it past Martin as the whistle will go and the Tomahawks will go to the penalty box.
Let's keep an eye there. We'll see.
Ben Austin, number 10 on your screen there.
And there was there, just.
Yeah. So the old horseshoe set up here for the Mohawks as they'll work 5-on-4 into this final minute of the period. Hellier, Wiles, what do they got on here? Fox, the pass out of his reach. And the loose ball is claimed by Ron John. This is Patterson, who's sneaky fast. Looks like he's just got an extra gear when he wants it.
Long strides.
Shot clock off here now for Kahnawake. As Hellier has a look up at the clock. Wiles to O'Connor. Scott right back to him. Hellier. Skip feed crease cutting through as Scott didn't get the good shot off. 5 seconds to go in the period. O'Connor will wind it up. Feed into the slot. Scott tried a shot. That one was blocked. And period 2 is now over. Well, it was 6-0 after 20 for Kahnawake. The lead down to 5 after 40, but work to do here for the Tomahawks of Tuscarora. As they look for their first win here of the President's Cup, they'll have 20 minutes to mount a comeback. As we will come back here to the President's Cup in Oakville in 10 minutes, right here on the JVI Sports Network. Welcome back to the President's Cup here in Oakville, Ontario, set for the third period of play on day number 3. Game number 2, Jake Elliott, Pat Gregoire with you. And blow the whistle. Well, let's play some Dewa Alado as we're underway with the Mohawks of Kahnawake leading the Tomahawks of Tuscarora by a score of 9-4. Thoughts on this third period? What are you doing over there, Patty? What are you looking up over there?
Just doing
checking
some research,
emails,
checking emails, answering fan. No, I'm kidding.
Signing autographs. Here's Justin Scott as Chase Martin makes his first stop. Got any stats after 40?
Yeah, Riley O'Connor with a goal and 3 assists for 4 points. Herba Cumber with 2 and 1 for 3. Caleb Wiles with 2 and 1 for 3. And then for the Tomahawks, Nick Miller with 2 goals and Marvin Curry with 2 assists.
Tomahawks shorthanded here just for the next 10 seconds. As Patterson will just work the possession, and now Macomber are going to take a penalty for a chop on Patterson as he's starting to get his angry going. And a shot there from Patterson, and look out here, temper's starting to flare. There's 2 out of the 6 nations clashing here today at the President's Cup. Can you name the 6 nations, Patty? I want to put you on the spot.
Oh, geez. I don't know if I can name all 6, and I don't want to.
Let me see if I can do it here. Tuscarora, Seneca, Oneida, Mohawk, Onondaga, and I'm missing one. I'm missing one, Patty. I shouldn't have put you on the spot. You'll look it up. My apologies. I should know that. Oneida, Seneca, Tuscarora, Onondaga, Mohawk. What am I missing?
Cayuga.
The Cayuga. They always get me, the Cayuga. My bad, Cayuga Nation. It'll stick.
I think that would have been the one that I would have been missing too.
We've seen them at a President's Cup. I want to say back in 2016 in Leduc, if I'm not mistaken. Some cool teams there that year. Tonawanda, Native Sons.
There was.
It's what I absolutely love about the President's Cup. The Indigenous teams that come and just the style of play here at the Prezi and seeing the different nations. It's so awesome, man.
Yeah, Native Sons had a couple of years. They had brought some pretty good teams to the Prezzies.
Had a quick chat with head coach of the Oakville Rock, Matt Sawyer, in between periods, and a little more jubilant than he was after day 1 here at the Prezi is Rob Hellier. Stumped in the doorstep by Martin. And here comes a chance for the Tomahawks. And Aaron Bold will bail out the Mohawks as we play some 4-on-4 lacrosse here. As Oakville impressive this morning over Edmonton and have rebounded nicely after dropping their first game, now with 2 straight. And they will take on the identical record of 2-1 of the Snake Island Muskies tonight at 8 o'clock. Before that, we will get Ladner and 6 Nations at 5. There's a big day 3 here at the Prezi, and you're watching it all free of charge on the JVI Sports Network. And the games will just get more intense. They'll get bigger and more meaningful with each passing game as we work our way to the big championship on Saturday. As Aaron Bold with another stop. And here's Steph Charbonneau.
It's a great ball from Tolmie.
Got a lot of lacrosse royalty, if you will, over there, Pat. General manager of the Saskatchewan Rush, and I want to say like 8-time NLL champion Derek Keenan over there, fresh back from the Northwest Territories on a big fishing trip. Steve Dietrich, Jamie Dowek taking in the game up top in the suites. Troy Cordonley down the way. Lots of familiar faces around the President's Cup this week in Oakville.
Yeah, there's no doubt. A lot of big names on the benches, but as you mentioned, a lot of people taking in scouting for their respective NLL teams. You'd be crazy not to come out here and watch some games or pop on the stream if you're not in Ontario to check out some of these hidden gems on these rosters.
Well, entry draft coming up, and there's a few eligible players in this tournament that will be in the NLL draft, but more so than that, just watching guys play with live bullets flying around here, you get a real good idea on what they're about and how the week goes along and how they progress and perform game after game. And you can learn a lot about a player doing that. And even if they don't make your team, but you bring them in for a little extra competition, and who knows, they may surprise you once they get to camp. But you can certainly find some bodies here at the President's Cup.
No doubt, even if it's players that you've had before in your system, on your practice roster maybe, or someone that's been up and down with the team.
I look at a guy like Caleb Wiles, for instance. He's been sniffing around a little bit. He's played some games, but a good showing here at the President's Cup for Caleb Wiles could certainly get an invite to an NLL training camp.
No, there's no denying. I know the National Lacrosse League's put a little bit of a pause on expansion for probably good, I would say. But it's going to get to a point where we're going to have to add another team here soon. And what does that mean? We need more players.
I'd still like to see one more before they put the halt on it. Just balance things out.
100%.
Fox over the shoulder. One more across the crease, and Kirby taken down.
And believe it or not, I'm going to say it should be a West team. East Coast Patty.
Yes,
you heard it here
thank you
first.
very much.
You heard it here first.
Or even if you just got a team in the Midwest, you could shift one the other way or whatever.
Yep. Midwest would be great.
Back in Minnesota or Winnipeg potentially.
Edmonton would be nice to see back.
Yes. They're going to call Tomahawk possession here. O'Connor hates the call, doesn't want to put the ball down. And he's lucky he didn't get a delay a game there. Probably should have. And here comes another penalty, this time to the Mohawks. And you can tell there's a little bad blood here between the Tuscarora and Mohawk nations. Two teams that don't like each other, from what I can see here down on the turf.
It's very apparent.
There's a low shot there, which is completely okay by me, but just, the parade to the penalty box is getting a little tiresome. And it's still just a 5-goal game here. Like, it's not like things are way out of hand for one team or the other here.
No, definitely not. There's still a lot to play here. I guess calling that one uncontrolled. It looked like it was on the hands. I don't know about that one.
Marvin Curry will start things as we play 4-on-4 for a minute. As on the pump out is Buckshot. Nice little hezzy. Oh, look, corkscrew. Man.
Can't buy one. He's got a full pocket of change, but he can't buy one.
It looked like room to the far side there, but again, seemingly had his mind made up on where he wanted to go with that ball. And didn't take what the goaltender was giving him. And that's kind of, again, we talked about what separates the goods from the greats, is that the greats will take what the goaltender gives them. They won't have their mind made up and say, okay, I'm going top right when top left is wide open.
Oh, there's no doubt. They'll have something set in their mind, but
they adjust on the fly quickly.
I mean, if you see some of the greatest shooters in the game, they'll adjust with milliseconds left in their shot.
Nice loose ball there. Scooped up by Becker. As Turner weave to the goal, gets a good pass across the zone. Double team comes, it's shoveled free. And 15 on the clock here, still time for the Tomahawks. There's another big chop there, this time from Tchaikovsky, as the ball goes out of play.
He's not going to have the points or the statistics to show for it, but Tchaikovsky has been an absolute animal here today and all tournament long, really.
I'm not laughing at that. I'm laughing at Marvin Curry getting away with like 5 slashes on the hand, which they called earlier in the game, but not here in the third. Yeah, no, Tchaikovsky's been good.
It's good to see he's healthy. I know the Albany Firewolves are going to be excited to have him back full-time playing for that team.
It's going to be a different looking Firewolves team come this season with all the draft picks coming in, and they kind of, went through a year of pain, I think, for the future betterment of the team, and that'll start to pay off coming this year.
Anytime you got Doug Jamieson in between the pipes, too, you got a real good chance to win a lacrosse game. And with the Glenn Clark's team, they're going to compete.
Yep.
They're going to compete.
O'Connor working with Scott as we are back to 5-on-5 once again. Let's see how long we stay 5-on-5, Pat. Bouquet on a spin move, lost the handle. 2 on the shot clock, and ball picked off in front of the goal. As wearing number 43, Kyle Henry. Chance here down low, and a reaching shot there called in the crease. Wonder if he's a Darius Kilgore fan, 43. Right? Yeah. That's what Darius for.
Oh, yeah, hanging up?
Yeah. $15 on the clock now for Scott. Up pick from Wiles as he got on the hip. Cutting through was Bouquet, and Martin, who got off to a bit of a rocky start here, Pat, has really settled into this game pretty nicely.
Really has. He's seeing the ball a lot better, tracking it well.
Takes up a lot of net in there, just Chase Martin. As Becker again with it. He'll move it to Miller, who's got 2 out of the 4 here for the Tomahawks. Now Patterson had it check loose. Charbonneau doing the job as he'll push ahead here. Steph Charbonneau trying to get to the goal, and he's tackled from behind. And I'm not sure what Miller is getting up in arms for, thinking that wasn't a penalty. You can see for yourself here on the replay. That's like a touchdown-saving tackle right there.
Yeah, those are the type of penalties that you're probably okay with taking.
That's 2 minutes, I think.
Yeah, senior B, senior A, junior B, junior D, whatever it is, that's a penalty in any type of lacrosse. You slice it. You
maybe not junior D, Pat.
Yeah, maybe not. I don't know. We'll have to ask Tino Farah, see if they call it in his.
You did not just go there. Take that, Tino.
Darius Kilgore, number 43, retired. Rich Kilgore, 16, and Tavares, 11. The 3 numbers hanging up in Buffalo.
What do you think the next Bandit jersey will be?
You stole the question right out of my mouth.
Some good ones.
Do you think there's someone currently retired right now that?
Well, I'm trying to rack my brain on that. We'll get a chance here maybe for Tuscarora, but pretty good defense from Hutchison to break up that opportunity.
I mean, you got to assume 92 is going to be up there at some point. Probably not for a very long time.
22 potentially as well.
I think those two probably go up on the same evening.
Yeah. That's a good question, man. I mean, I'd say if Matt Vince spends another 3-4 years there, maybe adds another ring or 2.
Yeah, that's a great point.
I know he spent so long in Rochester, but Fox can't get it through Martin.
Signing a 2-year deal, which I think a lot of people were surprised with. Just you think it was going to be just a one and done, keep signing and taking it a year-by-year approach, but the way he's played, and why would you not want to run it back with that group?
Look out, long shove there on Bold, who will make the stick save. As we have 9 to go in this one, and no goals here in the first 11 minutes of this third period. Any comments from the chat on the next Bandit jersey to be retired, Pat?
Nothing yet. But we know a lot of Tomahawk fans are probably Bandits fans with a close proximity. See if anything pops up.
Buckshot, we're asking, are you answering? Because it's always cool to have the chat going here on the YouTube feed. For the most part, anyways. And Bold with a good stop low.
Real nice save by Bold there.
Yeah, technical. And this is kind of one of those games here, Pat, now where that one rings the pipe here from Scott, where you start to manage things. You know, you got a 5-goal lead in the third period. You know you got more games on the horizon here, and you don't want to tax yourself if you don't need to. So every possession becomes a little more methodical, and you're not taking transition opportunities unless they're clear-cut, all that sort of stuff. And a good over-the-head check there from Scott to break up a Tomahawk opportunity.
Yeah, there's no doubt you want to not allow those bad habits to creep in as well, but just go through progressions, value that ball.
Mentioned 2 more games to come here on day 3. Ladner, Six Nations comes up next. Oakville, Snake Island to finish off day 3. Day 4, another loaded schedule, 4 games on the docket as Hellier right on. Ladner, Tuscarora to start the day. Then Edmonton and Snake Island. That will be a very competitive lacrosse game. Six Nations, Kahnawake. And then Ladner will play 2 a day as the Pioneers and the Rock to wrap up day 4 as the Rock in their traditional 8 o'clock time slot, as they should be. And what will the records be there? Could a potential 3-1 against a potential 4-0 go down tomorrow night on day 4?
It certainly could be shaping up that way with the way that the two teams have been playing.
Snake Island will have some say in that here tonight. Yeah.
Hellier sitting down for 2. I think just frustrations boiling over for him as he's been
taking a beating.
Absolute beating.
Chance there. Good save for Bold. As Carson Reese got the quick shot up. Here's Patterson.
Oh, some great answers in the chat. I'll get to that in a second.
I know there's names that I'm probably just look out from behind here, Tchaikovsky. I'm probably not thinking about, so lay it on me. What do you got, Patty?
Number 23, the captain, Steve Priolo.
Of course, yes.
Great answer.
Well warranted for sure. Anything else?
That's it.
That's the main one. Here's Wiles. Oh, what a stop from Martin.
4 Priolo answers, so we know what the people want.
Yeah. And it was so great to see Priolo after, 11, 12 years as the Bandit and a long time as the captain as well, finally lift the trophy over his head after having a number of cracks at it. As he spent his summer out with the Victoria Shamrocks once again, but he'll be back in Bandit land come December. And look out here in behind the play. As a couple of bodies tangled up. I don't think gloves are coming off here, but it got a little nasty there for a moment. And still 26 seconds to go in the penalty time here to the Mohawks. But the penalty boxes will fill right up here. As it comes with 5:40 to go in this 2 o'clock window game. It looks like Kahnawake will improve to 2-1. Tomahawks will drop to 0-4, and the picture just will start to get a little clearer with each passing period in game.
Yeah. On that note with Steve Priolo, believe he won a President's Cup in 2013 with St. Catharines, his hometown team.
Sounds right to me. They probably
St.
ran a
Catharines
marathon
Saints.
and hiked up a mountain
Yeah.
and jumped out of an airplane after.
Built a boat.
He does it all. Wiles being all tangled up. As Tyler Kahn was working him over. And Wiles says, you know what? Enough of this. I'm going to change. So we hit the stretch drive here. And Tuscarora looking for 5 goals in 5 minutes. Carson Reese. And almost had one there. Good glove stop that time from Bold. Hutchinson wanted nothing to do with that loose ball. And now he'll scoop it up. As you can see, he was just looking over his shoulder, knowing something was coming his way, and he did not want any part of it.
That was a business decision right there. That's what that was.
Protect the assets. Jake Fox running wide, got a low bouncer off that Martin went down on a knee for. They lately reset the 30. I don't even think that's a word, but I just used it. And now a shot there from Scott will go wide that Bouquet will pick up. And now off the wall, Riley O'Connor. And cutting to the goal was Kirby. The pass came late. Now O'Connor on the back door. And a good interception there from Logan Monroe. Kahnawake still running their guns out the front gate here late in this game.
You, again, stole the words right out of my mouth, wondering, do we see, well, Rob Hellier sitting in between the middle of the bench. If I'm on that bench, I'm quite okay with having him.
Get 6 on a leash right now.
Yeah.
Just don't let him back out.
Yeah.
Bold over the shoulder. And a roll pass up ahead here to Kirby. And now a power play coming here for the Mohawks once again. And they'll blow this play down. Before any more fireworks as Buckshot into the box here for the Tomahawks. As the clock down to 3:21.
Frustrating day for Buckshot. Had a handful of chances. Hasn't been able to.
I mean, he's a good-looking player.
Yeah. Trust me, nightmares, Jumbo. Nightmares.
Yeah,
trying to
I can
figure
imagine.
out how to stop him playing with Akwesasne back in 2019.
O'Connor taking a look out. That came down from a 12 o'clock position. And that shot came down from a 12 o'clock position for Justin Scott. As he'll hit 10 goals here for the Mohawks now, who up their lead back to 6 on the power play marker.
Believe it or not, that's his first goal of the game, considering how well he's been shooting the ball all tournament long. And again, another unique release. This guy has it all. He's got so many bags or tricks in his bags. If he's got so many bags, that's an issue.
Yes.
So many tricks in the bag. He can go underhand, overhand. He'll throw a little twist at the end, corkscrew, whatever. Deceptive
There's
shooter.
a chance for Tuscarora, and another save for Aaron Bold, who has only allowed 4 by him on 41 shots here for the Mohawk goaltender. He's had a nice performance between the pipes.
Yeah, very tidy performance.
Like, I don't feel like this is a 10-4 game.
No, it really does not at all.
And again, I just go back, like, if not for that 6-0 start, and I know you can't take him back off the board here if you're Tuscarora, but it's 4-4 since then. Scott looking for another. The shot clock will go down to 0. We will go down to 2:22 here to go in the game.
And I know it's not the mentality that you want to take, but this is a learning experience for this group. If you look up and down their roster, they're probably one of, if not the youngest team.
Yeah.
They want to be here next year. You have to learn how to figure out how to not just win a President's Cup, but how to play, how to be competitive. And this is going to go a long way for this group. If they can keep this young core together, they're going to be back in this tournament.
I fully agree with that statement, Pat Gregoire. And I think that's something, the young minors teams had to go through early before they went on their run. In Oakville, who knows, maybe they're going to have some learning lessons here throughout the week if they want to reach the pinnacle. Even Ladner, who, star-laden professional team essentially, at the end of that week last year in Edmonton, to a man, every one of them said, I was not prepared for the President's Cup. I didn't know, I knew it was going to be hard, but I did not know it was going to be this hard and what to expect as far as the physicality and the taxing that it takes on your body.
You said Logan Schuss still having nightmares about it.
STD, yeah. You told me. And they won.
I know.
Not here this year, as he will be on the bench for the New Westminster Salmon Bellies this evening for Game 7 of the WLA Finals. That will start at 10:30 p.m. here tonight, by the way. Eastern time, that is. 7:30 on the West Coast. And if you're not busy, even if you are, clear your schedule and watch that one.
Aaron Bold with maybe the quietest 40 burger we've ever seen.
Seriously. Clean.
Been so phenomenal. It's just.
And there's a guy that's been around and been to a lot of President's Cups and knows what it takes. And still, once he settles into his game, he'll have his off moments and off games, but when he's on, Aaron Bold
dialed.
Can still play some goal now.
We saw it this year in the National Lacrosse League. He had a stretch there where he was just.
Look out here.
Here we go.
Hutchison coming together with Vanderzam, but nothing will come of it as the clock will run down here on the Tomahawks. And look, I thought he was going to do it. Welcome to the Prezi. Mohawks take out the Tomahawks here on day number 3 as they improve their record to 2-1. Tuscarora dropped to 0-4. As your final score, 10-4, as the shots right there, 45-44 Kahnawake, but they win by 6.
Chase Martin, he gives up 10, but 35 saves. There's a big reason why this is just a 10-4 game.
And I don't know exactly what's going on in the stands here at the track, but one of the bench personnel of Tuscarora a little hot under the collar, pointing towards the corner glass as the handshakes will take place here. And you can understand it, Pat. 0-4 here at the President's Cup. I know higher hopes for the Tomahawks, who haven't been that far off, but still in search of their first win here. And, for sure, the frustration's boiling over here a little bit.
They go from the highest of high of that unbelievable Can-Am series, the championship they win, and then they come here and they feel like they're close but not quite there, unable to get a win. But, man, they've battled in each and every single game. It's just been those lulls that we talked about. If they can tighten up those lulls and they can put together not even a full 60, but just an effort from start to finish and tidy things up, this is going to be a team that's going to be back here. And even the tournament's not done for them.
No, they got Ladner left on their schedule, and that might be a tough game for them for sure. But then they got Six Nations, and, I know Six Nations has got to win, but their last 2 outings have been a little lackluster. And I think that's a winnable game for Tuscarora. We'll see. James Chadwick, your player of the game, presented by Bar Down Wax. Jancy Johnson's a fan, I know that. He wants a bucket hat, Patty. Caleb Wiles for Kahnawake.
Wiles finishing with. They had him down for 2-1. I thought
he's put the bucket hat on, Patty. How about that? I think that's
the first.
That. They're both going to do it. Here we go. I think this is the first 2 players that have actually thrown on the bucket hats for the post-game pick.
Love that.
Good-looking hats, I will say. All right, That'll wrap up the 2 o'clock game. We'll take a quick break here on the JVI Sports Network and be back at 5 o'clock Eastern for Ladner and Six Nations on day 3 from the Prezi. But for now, we will bid you adieu. For our entire production crew here at JVI and for Pat Gregoire, I've been Jay Kelly for the fastest game on 2 feet. And for the creator, we'll talk to you at 5 o'clock back here in Oakville for the President's Cup.
We want to thank our partners for their support of the 2023 President's Cup. Bar Down, Ice River Green Bottle Company, Gatorade, Big Chief Meat Snacks, and the Oakville Pump and Patio. Thank you for your support and helping all the competing teams as they chase the Prezi.